Hello, watch enthusiasts, and thank you for joining us. Welcome to another episode of OJ's Take 5. I'm your host, OJ Watley, coming to you live and in real time, direct from Watch You Want headquarters here in sunny Hollywood, Florida. So welcome. I am super excited for this episode. We're going to be doing a live drawing to choose a winner in our first giveaway for some really cool swag, this Breitling personal vault safe. I've got a laptop in front of me, so hopefully I'll be able to keep track of the chats, although I'm not seeing anything now. I don't know, am I live? Let's see. If you have anything to say, please feel free to chime in, and I'd love to talk to you. So thank you so much for tuning in. You'll have to bear with me today. I'm just coming from a funeral from my next door neighbor's house. I'm feeling very emotional, so just trying to kind of get my energy back up and to move this thing forward. But I'm super excited to give this thing away. And after going to this funeral for my neighbor who's only 46 years old, oh God, I think I'm tearing up. All I can say is live life to its fullest. So let's see, we're going to do a very cool drawing for this personal Breitling vault. Hey, Bill Walsh, thanks for participating, man, and thanks for the well wishes. So thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, guys, you know what? I'm having fun with these Watch in the Box giveaways. There's a watch in there. And whoever figures out what watch is in that box by the end of this episode, and if you don't get it, I'm not giving away the prize, I'm not rolling it over, but if someone gets it, they get it. I'm giving away something really special today. This is a Breitling pen. This is the felt tip pen, sterling silver barrel. I mean, these things are like $200-300 on eBay. It's crazy. I'm a sucker for them. But I feel excited because I really want to do something exciting with this giveaway. So here's the deal. I'm going to give you guys a very vague clue as to what the watch in that box is. In order to get the right guess, I need 2 things or 3 things from you. Okay, so here's the clue first, and then I'll tell you what I need in the answer. The clue is the watch in that box is associated with Hollywood. Now, in order to win, you have to guess the watch and the movie that it's associated with it. That's the only hint I'm going to give you guys, so you can start guessing and go for it. No, it is not a... Now, again, let's take an example. Rich, Rational Pragmatist, who I love your participation and enthusiasm, wrote a Patek Aquanaut. So even if it was a Patek Aquanaut, you would not win because you have to name the movie that it's associated with. So if it's Patek Aquanaut and Ferris Bueller's Day Off, at least you'd have something there. But nonetheless, so you have to list, okay, Omega James Bond, not bad, but again, I need a specific watch, not a brand, but a specific watch. 1861 Omega Speedmaster. Bert, thank you for joining us. I love it that you came in, but again, I'm looking for the movie that's associated with it as well. This is an awesome pen, by the way. Again, it's a felt tip, original Breitling pen with like a sterling silver barrel. I'm going to put it in the camera. Let's see. So for today's show, I thought I'd do something different. A watch came in that I had never seen before, and I have always lusted after this watch. So I thought I would do a Take 5, under the hood, close up, and what's so cool about this watch for this particular watch that I've chosen. I'm just looking to see if we have any more comments. And again, I welcome all of your guesses. Again, the hint is there's a watch in this box. It's associated with Hollywood. I need the name of the movie and the name of the watch. Okay, and again, that's to win this Breitling pen. What were you saying, Tim?
Talk a little bit about the Blancpain.
I'm going into it right now. So I'm going to put this to the side here, and I'm going to remind you guys, okay, we're going to do this drawing here. We've got 56 participants in the Watch You Want giveaway for the Breitling Personal Vault. And as soon as I talk about this watch that's so cool, I'm going to do the random generator live and on air with you guys. So let's talk about this watch. This watch came to us just yesterday or the day before yesterday, and I've never seen one before. They only made 500 pieces, and at first glance, it kind of looks sort of ordinary, but when you get under the hood, it's a much more extraordinary watch than that. So the watch that we're talking about is the Blancpain 50 Fathoms, but this is the Blancpain 50 Fathoms Aqualung, also known as the tribute to 50 Fathoms Aqualung, made in only 500 pieces. Now, let's talk about why I think this watch is so cool. I think, and Tim will be able to correct me on this, about 8 years ago, Blancpain came out with a super special and limited edition of their diver's watch. And it was in like a 40 millimeter case that was coated in rubber. And it was like the tribute to 50 Fathoms. It was sort of a tribute to their original 50 Fathoms watches. Going back to 2005?
Yeah, that's going back to like 2000.
Maybe 2000. So, but it was a small watch, and it was encased in like a special rubber strap that was kind of like a bunda strap, but it actually wrapped around the watch too. And the coolest thing about that watch was it came with special tools, so you could remove the strap and put a regular strap on. I think they made, if I'm not mistaken, only like 250 pieces, because they did 2 parts to that special edition. And in fact, if you go in our bathroom upstairs, there's a poster of it on the wall. So it was the original tribute to 50 Fathoms, and they made 2 versions of it. And I always felt that it was kind of a smaller watch because it was based on those original 50 Fathoms that had the engraved bezel and that were like 40 millimeter. When this watch came through, and mind you, this is a follow-up to the no radiation dial that they released on the Blancpain 50 Fathoms several years ago. But this was significantly more limited and more rare. This was only made in 500 pieces. And again, what's so cool about this watch aesthetically is if you look at the case, it's an all brushed, a matte brushed, or almost like a brassed out finish. Totally non-reflective, and yet not fisheye. Doesn't suck in all the light. It still reflects a little bit, but really not so much. Not shiny. Again, it's sort of dull, but with sort of a gleam in its eye, if you will. So it's got an all brushed satin or matte finish to it. Not just the case, but the bezel, the sides of the bezel, even the crown. The side of the case is stamped in its signature, Blancpain. The dial is stamped Aqualung, and below that 50 Fathoms. And certainly there are the regular 45 millimeter 50 Fathoms time and date, and I love that watch. But I specifically love this watch. I love the fact that the date is in between the 4 and the 5 in sort of that diagonal position. I love the fact of that brushed finish. And I love the fact that this is a special edition with a special rotor, and you can see that rotor is actually in the shape of a propeller. So it's pretty cool. And it's also perlage finished. The watch is individually numbered on the case back out of 500 pieces. And if I'm not mistaken, all these watches are completely sold out. I know I've never seen one available for sale. Watch You Once never sold one before to my knowledge, and I was instantly smitten when I saw it. So let's talk a little more about this watch. Some other things that I really love. Of course, you gotta love the original Pelican diver's box. Certainly Blancpain wasn't the first company to use the Pelican diver's box, but the fact that they use it to me is just really cool. What I also think is pretty cool about this is they include this special tool, which at first glance you kind of think is just like a keychain, but in fact what it is, let me try to get the picture there. Of course I'm having difficulty lining it up. Oh, come on. What this thing is, oh, there it is. This is the special tool that allows you to lock in the deployment buckle screw. And it's got an extra wide flathead tip on it. Yes, Tim?
If you're having global problems, move it back an inch or so and then
yeah.
put your finger in.
No, but I got it. I think we got it now. So, but what's cool is it's original wood. I mean, this is actual wood, and it's got that extra wide sort of flathead screwdriver. And you think, what in the world is this for? Well, in fact, it's for the screw that secures the strap to the deployment buckle. There it is. And you see it's a screw that you don't have any screwdrivers to fit anything that wide. You don't want to strip the screw. So you use that special tool, and that's how you remove the deployment buckle from the strap. Another special feature about this watch is that sailcloth strap. Not just the normal sailcloth Blancpain 50 Fathom strap, but it's got the ocean cutouts or the circle cutouts, which give you a breathability and certainly a sporty look and feel. Also, that deployment buckle, every piece on this deployment buckle is satin brassed finish, matte finish, every piece. There's nothing that's shiny on this watch whatsoever. Even in the movement, there's nothing that's shiny. It's just all matte finish. And again, if you look at any other 50 Fathoms, you're going to see a much shinier case. So going back to this Pelican case, not only do you get the Pelican box, but you also have a very cool travel case, a la the Breitling travel carry case, of course, too, but certainly very convenient. Now, with the tribute to Aqualung 50 Fathoms, or they call it the Tribute to 50 Fathoms. What they also include with the package that I think is just so cool is, check this out, a special envelope that actually seals with string, so it's sort of vintage-ish, almost like parchment type. But you get these booklets of the original advertisements that show the original advertisements, the original patent applications for the 50 Fathoms. A picture of the original 50 Fathoms. I mean, these are just the coolest postcards, and they're neat little memorabilia, you know. I certainly love it when a watch brand, you know, comes out with a special watch and they include the paraphernalia, the propaganda that sort of gives you a glimpse into that original DNA. You know, you can just feel that tropical strap on this watch. You can see the patent. Let's see, they've got some other things here. Bob Malubier, founder of the Nageur de Combat with his 50 Fathoms watch, circa 1955. I mean, there's some really cool pieces here. Again, this is one of the patents. Just additional, you know, provenance that you don't get with your traditional watch. And to me, this is the story. This is what makes this so cool. I mean, I can see these actually being framed up in sort of a mosaic tile type fashion, and they'd be actual art on the wall. And in fact, I've got a large poster of this, and I think the diver one, and it's in our bathroom. So again, this is just a freebie that comes with the watch, but definitely something that sets this edition apart from the regular editions. Okay, now on to my favorite part about this watch. Ask me, OJ, what's your favorite part about this watch? You know what, before I answer that question, I just want to look and see if anybody has guessed the watch in the box. Let's see here. Okay, 1861, Seamask, no. Wolf of Wall Street, Breitling. Good guess, but no. Let's see. SKX, all is no. Hamilton, no. Panerai Rundown, no. Not a bad idea for our next one, though. Breitling for Bentley, no. Batman, no. IWC Pilot, no. Tag Heuer Chronograph, no. Reverso. Rolex Sub 6538. Let me tell you something. I wish that was a 6538. I'd actually be wearing it on my wrist. It wouldn't be in that box. Let's see. Tag Heuer Monaco, no. Hamilton Khaki, no. Rolex Day-Date, Glengarry, Glen Ross. Oh, copies for closers. Let's see. All right. No one's gotten it, man. Come on. All right. I'm just going to give you guys. It's like one of the biggest freaking Hollywood blockbusters ever. All right. I'm going to leave it there. And no, I'm not even going to say it. All right. So I'm going to show you what my favorite thing about this watch is. And here goes, man. Here it is. So with this watch, you get this extra box. You get this extra box, and the box is very, very cool and very special. Here's what the box is. The box includes a specially designed package which has a special block to hold the watch while you change your straps. How cool is that? But it gets better. And you know what? I've talked to so many people who've seen this and they're like, what? What's going on? What is that thing? Here's what's amazing. And I tell you what, I give the Swiss a lot of credit for their attention to detail, the meticulousness. So you got this block, and this block fits this watch absolutely perfectly. It was made to hold the watch without scratching it, without mucking it up, and more importantly, when the watch is in the block, there are these 4 screws on the sides of the case. So there's a screw there, there's a screw there, there's a hole. There's a drilled hole. There's 4 drilled holes in this block, 2 on each side. Can anybody guess what those drilled holes are for? Those holes give you direct and perfectly aligned access to the lug screws. Now, the lug screws are not ordinary lug screws. Otherwise, you could just use any screwdriver. They're a special tip. So what Blancpain did to figure that one out? Check this out. So you look at this block, and you're not quite sure what it is. Again, you got this going on. Check it out. When you pull this block out, or this metal piece out, of course I can't do it. Let's see. So when you pull these metal things out, what they are is they're a screwdriver. They're a strap-changing screwdriver with a special head that fits perfectly into this hole with 0 wobble, zero shake, zero chance of stripping your lug head screws, and it makes changing the strap a surgical procedure with surgical accuracy. I'm telling you, it is just, like I said, if you just look at the way this thing fits, it's just perfect. And there's no wiggle room, there's no wobble. It just goes in there, and that's how you change out the lug screws and do a strap change. And there's 4 of these, one for each side of the hole, but wait, it gets better. Because if you unscrew the cap to each one of these little posts, there's extra lug screws, 2 inside of each one. So if you do happen to have a bad screw change, a strap change, which I'm not quite sure how you do that, but if you happen to do that, there are replacement lug screws. And these things are freaking tiny, let me tell you. Pretty scary. But again, I think it's just so cool that they gave you this tool set, and you can literally feel like a mad scientist or a watchmaker sitting at the table with this special tool set and just going in. I mean, right now I'm tightening the lug screw, there it is, or I can loosen it. And I can do 2 at the same time or whatever I need to do. But it's just such an elegant solution, such an elegant presentation, and you can feel the quality of this case changing tool. What do they call this thing in watch repair terms, Tim? Do you know?
Well, it's a jig.
It's a jig. There you go. It's the Blancpain strap changing jig that is designed within micro nanometers to fit this case just perfectly. Without scratching it, it's like aluminum, but it's got a special coating to it, and it fits the case just perfectly so it doesn't scratch it, and it just holds it in place. Now, additionally, comes with an interchangeable rubber diver strap. That's what I think is so cool. Are we still live streaming, Tim?
Yeah, people are asking for some guidance because there are thousands of movies over 100 years, they're saying.
Yeah, but how many watches are associated with them? All right, I just hit something, so I can't really even see the text anymore. Let's see. Oh, come on.
Is it an action movie? Is it a drama?
Oh, come on. It was one of Hollywood's biggest blockbusters. All you gotta do is Google Hollywood's biggest blockbuster. I'm telling you, it's that obvious. All right, well, Tim, I can't see my text anymore. Can you just come over here and see why it's not doing that? Because I want to be able to see and respond. I don't know, it went away. So, come on, guys. Hollywood's biggest blockbuster. And there was a movie associated with it. All right, I'll give a hint. Okay, it's loosely associated, but when I tell you the association, you'll get it. You'll get it. 50 Fathoms badass. I freaking agree, man. I love this 50 Fathoms, and I love the jig, man. It's fantastic. Honestly, it's like the Panerai times 10 from a feeling of being like a mad scientist slash designer engineer. Okay, let's take a look. Did anyone get this? Finally! Captain Zed with the Rolex Cameron Deep Sea Titanic. Finally! How hard was that? All you had to do was Google the biggest blockbuster movie. Yes, gang. The James Cameron Deep Blue, the black and blue Deep Sea. Yes! James Cameron. How could you guys not get that? Jeez Louise. Let's see. Can Deep Sea. Good guess, Captain. Forgot about that one. All right. So fantastic. Captain Zed, congratulations. You win the Blanc, the Breitling pen. Do me a favor. My email is oj@whatyouvant.com. Email me your address, and we'll send you out this pen. Thanks so much for your participation. Thanks everybody for your participation. I really appreciate it. Let's see what else is going on in there. All right, gotta at least give a range of. I don't need to give a range of years, not with that kind of clue. Does everybody think that was a decent enough clue? Someone got it, so it couldn't have been that bad. All right, let's see. All right, so we've got 56 entries in our giveaway for the Breitling Vault. And I am going to use random.org to choose our winner. Now, there's sort of this common belief that on random.org, the first time you do a poll, 90% of the time a single digit number shows up. I mean, I contend if you're doing less than, 10 or 15 people, obviously the odds are higher that you're going to get a single digit. But nonetheless, what we're going to do is I'm going to run the random generator, the true number, it's called the true random number generator, using minimum 1, maximum of 57. We're going to do it 3 times. The 3rd time will be the winner, and I'm going to film it on here. So I'm going to take off my thing. All right, let's see if I want to raise the size here so we can see it maybe. Okay, all right, let's see. So I'm going to do the first one, but the first one doesn't count for anything. So 1 through 57 I'm generating. Result was 15. So if we were doing this and we were using number 1, it would be our number 15. Let's do it a second time, shall we? All right, 1 through 57, we're going to generate. Let's see. And the number is, let's see, can we see that in there? 41. So that would be the number if we were pulling the 2nd. But we're pulling the 3rd. So here goes, gang. Can we get a drum roll, please? We need to have like a sound effect for a drum roll. You know, I need a production budget, Tim.
Yeah, that costs money. Send me a check.
I need a production budget. Okay. Who's ready, guys? We're going to do it. Here goes. I'm hitting the generate button. Wait, did I hit it? I don't think I hit it. There it is. There it is. There it is. Ah! Lucky number 13. Lucky number 13. Who said 13 is not lucky? Let's see. I'm going to tell you who lucky 13 was right now. Let's see. Lucky number 13. Our winner is Steve. No, I'm sorry. Apologize. Louis Navarrete. Louis Navarrete, you were lucky number 13, and you are the winner of our Breitling Personal Stash Vault. I've noticed there's some comments online about what you could keep in here, and that's certainly none of my business what you keep in here. I just can tell you it's super cool, it's discreet, and yeah, you can definitely keep those kinds of personables in here on your desktop, on your bookshelf, and no one would be the wiser. I mean, the back is even textured like a book. So it's pretty cool. Anyways, Steve Asbury, you are the man. You won. If you guys like this, chime in, tell me you liked it, and we'll do another one. Tell me how I can get more entries. You know, I was shooting for 500 this time around. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I think it's great that I can have a platform to be able to talk to you guys about my passion, watches, and hopefully have some fun with you guys, give some free swag, and you know, just be able to celebrate all things watches. As always, wear your watches in the very best of health and have a great day. This is OJ.